Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of Clipcast. Last week we missed an. Actually, how many weeks did we miss? We missed like one week only. We're gonna go back to doing the weekly shit, weekly shindig. And we have a guest. We have a guest today. I'd like to introduce everyone to. Hold on, I gotta get my fucking pins. Ready? Drum roll. Give me a drum roll. DaddyIssuez. Give me a drum roll. Give me a drum roll.
That's
DaddyIssuez.
There's a crowd you just can't hear.
There's a crowd you just can't hear because we don't have a soundboard set up. So
should have a soundboard.
Yeah, we have DaddyIssuez on the podcast as a guest. Wow. Oh I didn't turn my sounds on. That's fine. Okay, so DaddyIssuez, welcome. How do you feel?
Thank you. Nervous, bitch.
I told you not to be nervous when we got in. I said that was the first thing I said.
Okay. I'm not
first thing I said was don't be nervous, right? So you're already failing.
I'm lying.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm lying.
So this is a podcast where we get to know you, honestly. We ask you about yourself, some interesting topics, right? Interesting topics, and by the end of these podcasts, it usually just devolves into toxicity or garbage. But it's fine because we embrace it.
Oh, we love that.
Right?
Yeah,
we love it. We love it. So DaddyIssuez, tell me a little bit about yourself.
You know what? I'm a millionaire, bitch. I tell you not to ask me this question, ho. I don't know what to say. Okay, I am a 26-year-old man, but I don't care for pronouns. When I say that, I don't mean like I don't care about pronouns. For me personally, I don't care so long as it's not malicious. You can call me anything. I make models for a living. I don't know what else to say. Bitch, you stumped me so hard. I don't know what to say.
I want to say before we start this podcast, DaddyIssuez said you can literally ask me anything. Just don't ask me to tell you about myself.
Yeah, that's literally all I asked. I was begging.
Well, me and DaddyIssuez have been friends for a little while now. I would say
I love that friendship.
Yeah, I would say that I'm out of like a lot of the people on this game. I feel a little bit closer, closer to DaddyIssuez than I do to anybody else. Like even Pop, I fucking hate Pop Shooter, right? There are things I would talk about DaddyIssuez that I wouldn't talk about with Pop Shooter because he would judge me because he's an asshole, right? But DaddyIssuez would never judge me. DaddyIssuez would just judge.
Dynamic we have.
Yeah.
We have like a serious.
Yeah.
You know what? The best way to describe it, I think, is like sibling relationship. Like we can, but like minus the fighting. I don't think we've had a fight yet.
I don't think we ever would. Honestly, I can't see a world where I would ever fight with you. I've only had one fight with Pop Shooter, and it was because he doesn't see things the way I do because he's built wrong.
Yeah.
I'm built.
Huh?
I've only had one fight.
What?
Yeah. But DaddyIssuez, I think that you see things through the same lens as me.
Yeah.
I would never feel judged by approaching you with like my issues, but I know you would judge everyone else with me. So that's a pretty.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I love gaslighting people with you.
I also absolutely love gaslighting is my favorite thing to do.
And I also love trolling people with you. I think my favorite memory, I know this is a little like derailing a little bit. My favorite memory with you was in FBT when we were telling people we were siblings IRL and that we had to like change the trackers. Like mom said it's my turn.
Yeah.
And we'll turn the trackers off.
Yeah, so we pretended that we were siblings IRL and then we just like swapped. We only had one pair of trackers, so I'm gonna turn you up, DaddyIssuez, in game. But yeah, we pretended we were siblings in game, and then we only had one pair of trackers and we had to share. So every 30 minutes we had to swap. And DaddyIssuez would come to me like I'd be like somewhere around in the lobby, and DaddyIssuez would come to me and be like, "Okay, it's my turn." Mom says it's my turn on the trackers, so I gotta take them off and then hand them to DaddyIssuez, and we just kept doing that for like the whole night. And at one point, we both had like one tracker on. Like I had one, I had the left leg, and you had the right leg.
I still remember when we were like, it was like the bottom bit, like by the stage, and we said, "Okay, no, you gotta give me the trackers." And that one girl's like, "No way!" And you're like full like bending over, turning them off to give them to me.
Yeah, she didn't believe it. She didn't believe it until she saw me bend over and turn that shit off.
Yeah.
Me and DaddyIssuez do this thing where like, because DaddyIssuez, you're in Australia, right? DaddyIssuez is in Australia. And so they're on the complete opposite time schedule from me, right? Because I'm a fucking degenerate, I'll stay up till like 6 or 8 a.m., right? And like DaddyIssuez will just be getting on at like 6 or 8 a.m., right?
Yeah, the party's about to start.
So for DaddyIssuez, nobody is online except me. And for me, nobody's online except DaddyIssuez, but it's completely two different reasons. One, because you're too early, but I'm too late. I'm way too late. Nobody's on. Everyone's passed out. And DaddyIssuez is on way too early for everyone to be on. So we just hang out with each other. We have like deep talks and shit. Yeah. That being said, we do have a lot of deep talks. I feel like we know a lot about each other. Yeah. But I told DaddyIssuez that if I asked you any questions on the podcast, just pretend like I never asked you. Pretend like pretend like this is the first time we're talking. That being said, it's time to delve into the life of Daddy Issues. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, before we do that, Daddy Issues, did you mention like what do you do? What do you do in this game?
Okay, I make content for Instagram that probably should be on OnlyFans. I make avatars. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Will you get?
I don't fucking know. I don't care. Pop sure gives us a thumbs up. Yeah, I don't care.
And I make avatars for a living. I'm very blessed that I have people that support and love me. So, thank you.
Oh, aw. So cute. Pop sure, can you tell me if like at any point like my fucking live goes out? Because I want people to know.
You. I need to plug my phone in though. It's on 20%. So
okay, go plug it in.
You guys keep going. No, you guys keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Plug it in. Okay. All right. Daddy issues. This specific episode has been like a conversation for a long time because we have such good topics of discussion when we're like in private. Like we're like, dude, we're talking so much. We should just save this for the podcast, right? But now that we're here, my mind is blank, right? I think we had like some topics we want to talk about.
Cancel dude,
that's an interesting topic. I've always wanted to talk about cancel culture. You ever been canceled?
Okay, I wouldn't say I got canceled per se, but I definitely did get, for a loose terminology, like bullied because one of my avatars looked like someone else's. And they did send people to like comment on my post saying like, "Oh my god, you got the avatar early" and stuff like that, which in the long run was like, it's kind of like stupid when you think about it. It's very childish.
I love this actually. I love that you just brought this up. So this is actually such an interesting topic in the avatar creating world. How toxic would you say is the avatar creation scene?
Oh, it is so toxic. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to like scare anyone off. Like, if anyone's like watching and you want to make avatars, please do, because keep in mind the market may be full, but the market doesn't have you. So your mind could be like the next like big thing.
Fire.
So please don't be deterred.
Put that on a fucking t-shirt. The market may be full, but it doesn't have you.
Yeah.
Wisest words I've ever heard in the avatar creation scene.
But honestly, like, don't be scared. But it is very toxic, and like, you can fight with anyone, any day, any time period. Like, it does not matter. Something will break out. You're just gonna either have thick skin, ignore it, or approach it like properly. I wouldn't suggest like biting into it, like full savage attack back, unless they're being real disrespectful. Then you can. But
me personally, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
No, you go.
I don't know if I could ever be the type of person where I could just ignore it. Like, the reason why I say this, number one, I am a little bit of a hothead, I would say. But
yes, I am to an extent.
But even then, like, even if I wasn't a hothead, right? To be the type of person, like, avatar creation, same as like the TikTok scene, or like any type of scene where you're like, it's like your little bit of like your business, right? I wouldn't say TikTok is my business because I'm not making that much money off of it, but like it's more like a hobby.
It still is your business.
Yeah,
in the
it's like a huge part of my life, right? But for you, avatar creation is your business, correct?
Yes, it is my business.
Right. So
I'm very blessed again. Thank you.
So if you have people personally attacking your business for things that they believe, for example, like, oh, you copied such and such model, or like, don't get me wrong, ripping models is not okay. Like, you should never take someone's model.
Oh yeah, ripping and leaking is not okay.
Right?
I'm not promoting and saying that's okay. No.
But I think it's kind of stupid that people can say, oh, they copied my idea, because no one really has, I guess, patents on like ideas. You know what I mean? Like, we all, the whole avatar creation scene, I feel like, is like you all take ideas from each other. You know what I mean? Like you're inspired by other people.
Okay, yes. This is where it gets like complicated, because there's one-on-one copying, and then there's, okay, you made a cat avatar with a maid dress and I make a cat avatar with a maid dress. So long as like you put them side by side and you don't go, oh, they look the same, it's fine in my eyes. So like if we both make cat maids and they look completely different, it's okay, because same concept, but you did it in your own style and like way. The only thing that irks me is when it's like one-to-one copy. I had one creator, the thumbnail was a certain pose, and then I used the same wings as them, and they said I stole their whole concept. But if you put the model side by side, mind you, this was early days, so my avatars was so bad back then. You put them side to side and you'd be like, I don't know why the other person was worried, because mine was dog shit back then.
You made this avatar, right? The one you're wearing now?
I did.
Yeah, you had to make it because TikTok is very stringent on the rules.
Well, it will be for sale. But,
okay. All right. I feel like a lot of the issues arise. Like okay, this happened with, I think it was Weeby. I don't know. I like Weeby. I love Weeby. I know Weeby.
Oh, the furry.
The furry. We're like if two people like make avatars at the same time and it's the same concept, right? Then it's like, oh, you copied me.
The thing is, people have to keep in mind if you're a kit basher, and if you don't know the terminology of kit basher is someone that buys asset from the market where you don't make anything, you just put all the pieces together. So you buy the head, so this is kit bash. Everything on here is I put it together, but I didn't make anything except for the earrings. The issue with the market is all the kit bashers are saying the other kit bashers are copying them, but there's one how many creators is there now? There's 1,000 avatar creators, and there's 3 people that make assets. So it's you can't really expect to have anything super unique unless you make your own stuff.
That is a really good point. I noticed that a lot of times, and maybe it wasn't with Weeby, maybe that was a different situation, but I noticed that
I
times
know the one you're talking about. It did happen with Weeby, and that sucked because they didn't actually look alike, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say in my opinion. I think that it was kind of stupid. I think that the whole thing was because I know Weeby personally, that was there when she was making the model, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a situation where and maybe it seems like that, but I just feel like a lot of people, they get really, a lot of avatar creators out there get really what's the word? What's the best way to describe it? I don't want to say jealous. I want to say like angsty, right?
Not just that. Okay, so I think a little bit is jealousy. I think they did. Okay, so if we did two the same and you looked at mine and you're like, oh, I'm angry because you copied me. I think a little bit is a little bit of they did it better than you, or they thought of something with that concept. They just brought it up just a little bit more than yours. Does that make sense? So say we both made cat maids and you didn't add a duster, but I added a duster to mine.
Yeah.
Some people get a little bit butthurt because they're like, oh, I wish I thought of that. That would have elevated my model to the next.
Well, I don't want to say with the Weeby situation that one model was better over the other. I think they were just two people who came out with concepts. Yeah. I think actually what it was the person that was upset with Weeby came out with their model first, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then they felt like Weeby was, copying theirs. But in my personal opinion, someone who was there watching it happen, you know what I mean? I think it was just a situation where two people had similar ideas because, it's their business. One person might have felt what the hell? This is my concept, and they took it and they're making money off of it. But at the end of the day, when you you said kid bashing, but just I feel like avatar creating in general, right? You can't really put a patent on ideas or themes, right?
And no one owns the idea of corsets, bra, and panties, bitch. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm putting this out here loud and proud. No one owns the concept of bra, panties, a corset, and a harness. No one owns that. Strippers, hookers, ass workers have been doing it for the longest time. You don't own it. Someone's done it before you. But I do see when people do unique, who was it? Oh my god, I've come to a blank. But someone did a moth girl, and it had multiple arms.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that. That was really cool.
I think it was either a loom. It was a loom, I think. Don't quote me, but I think it was a loom.
No, I do know what you're talking about. That one was really cool. It made me really, I'm not gonna lie, I questioned my sexuality a little bit because dude, that moth was about to make me act up. I was like, dude, I would do things to that moth that I wouldn't do.
You're stupid. Okay, when it's something strong like that, okay. When it's a strong concept like that and then someone makes another moth, I feel like so long as they don't hit the same key points as what Illume did. Illume did the big titty goth mummy, moth. And I feel like if someone else did a goth moth, but minus the arms, if I was Illume, I'd feel a little bit butthurt.
See, I see your point, but for me personally, I'm the type of person where, okay, here's an example. Maybe this example won't translate, but I feel like it does, right? My model.
I'll probably get what you mean.
My model has been ripped already, right?
Yes.
And I know the person who ripped it, and they're they did it because they wanted the model. They made it public, and they asked me if I wanted them to take it down, and I said, honestly, I don't give a shit. You could take it down or not. Just be careful, because people know that's my avatar. So if you wear it in public, people will out you as a ripper, right? Yes, people have also made models that try, because this model that I have on right now, it's a very old one, right? It's two really old models put together, right? So you can't really get them anymore, right? But people have wanted them. And so because you can't really get this avatar, people have made avatars that look similar to mine, because they really like the concept,
There's
right?
a different no. There's a difference between similar. Like you can have the same silhouette and like theme, but so long as they don't look the same.
Well, someone actually bought the Archie model, which is what this head is from, and my old avatar before this one was an Archie model just with the Clip Kids logo on it and blue hair. They literally made it 1-to-1. I know it's not mine because they don't have my name on the hat, and there's some dim, like the lighting is different. But they literally tried their best to make it 1-to-1, right? And to me, I take that as like a compliment. Like they're inspired by me. So like now, if I was an avatar creator, if I made an avatar, came out like this, let's say the moth concept, right? A strong concept.
Yeah.
Came out, I made bank off of it, right? Someone got inspired and said, "Hey, this is a really fucking sick concept. I want to do this too, but I want to see if I can make it better," right? I would personally. I would see that as like a compliment, or like I'd be honored that like they're inspired by some of my work. You know what I mean?
So long as they make it different. And when I say different, I don't mean like they could do like okay, say the color palette is blue and black like yours. They can make it blue and black so long as when you put them side by side, you don't go, I could just buy this one and get the same result. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get you mean.
Yes, it's flattering if you come up with a super strong concept and then you elevate it or you change it to something like completely different that makes it unique. That's fine. In my eyes, I know some other creators might get a little bit like butthurt that someone took their idea and upped it one. But me personally, I wouldn't care so long as you can buy if you could buy this and still get my avatar in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. I get actually now that you're explaining it, I kind of like I see your point a lot more.
So like there was a creator, I made a model and someone sent me their whip and it was 1-to-1. There was 2 assets that changed, but it was 1-to-1 and I was butthurt. I don't own that concept. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want drama to come out of it because it's already behind me. It basically was the 1-to-1, except it was and I got really butthurt and I was upset. Like I was, crying because that one is like timeless. That model was so timeless to me and it still sells now. So I was like super butthurt and angry. Like I was crying because I was like, oh my god, this is like my baby. And they basically took it. And I knew they were going to make more sales because they're a way bigger creator than me. So I was like, they basically stole my idea and then redid it. But then when I confronted them, they said I was gatekeeping assets. And I was like,
I think this is a very touchy topic because I feel like it could be seen both ways. You know what I mean? Like when it's you under attack, it's like, dude, I'm... Huh?
To an extent, it can be seen both ways. To an extent.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say something, but I completely forget now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. I think there's situations that have arose before as well, where like 2 people have made the same concept at the same time, and it's a completely innocent mistake, or not mistake, but like misunderstanding. But like they'll get butthurt at each other because like, dude, like they're trying to, when you're selling an avatar, you want like it would suck if like someone releases an avatar at the same time as you that's the same concept, because then now people have to choose, right?
In my eyes, I feel like avatar creators are kind of like luxury brands, and some people, okay, I'm gonna just say the name. I'm a huge food baby. Like normally I don't like promoting other people, but I'll be an advocate for food baby. But I love food baby models, and I feel like there's a point in time where you could sell a bad model, but you love the person. So you'll still buy it anyway because you love the person. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah.
of like the celebrities as well. And not to compare us to celebrities. We're
so
not
you're saying that Food Baby makes bad models? Is that what you're saying?
Don't gaslight me, bitch. That's not what I say. Everyone knows I buy that shit. I eat it up. But if she did make a bad model, I'm not much of a stan like when it comes to buying models consistently anymore. I stopped doing that a long time ago. I feel like in that situation, like you mentioned before, that they would literally go for the quote unquote the brand rather than the product.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna pull 2 names out my ass. Like Jessica did it better than Lewis, so they're gonna buy Jessica's because it's Jessica's name, not really the product.
If Lewis was better, the people would buy Jessica still just because Jessica's a bigger creator?
Yes. Well, not even because they're a bigger creator. Like, if you have a strong fan base, they're going to pick their favorite over the other person. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're buying someone's style or art. I'm saying art loosely because I don't want to say it's art. But you're buying someone's art. So most people will stick to a style that they like more than, even if this one's better, like say this one could shoot guns, laser beams, turns around, does like 360s in games or whatever, but this one's like kind of just standard, doesn't do all that stuff, they're probably going to buy this one because it's their favorite, they stand them. Like if Clip Kids made avatars and Okay, so you made one and I made one?
Not a fucking chance. But like, yeah, continue.
No, this is like, say I made a model concept that's similar to yours and we dropped them at the same time. They're going to support you because they love you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I feel like if I threw some fucking dog shit together, people would buy it. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know.
Right, because you made it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like you're a brand. They'll be like, oh my god, Tay made this avatar. I would buy it because it's Tay. Especially like because you have the following, you know?
Yeah. Two questions. One, would if you being you, right? Would you want one of your close friends to tell you if you've ever made a bad model?
Yes. Well, actually, thank God, me and Senpai are super close. I actually have a group chat with other people in it too. But me and Senpai go back and forth. Like, I will say to her, like, be honest with me. What should I do to like change this? And I'll send it to her, and she'll be honest. Like, we're honest with each other.
What if the whole model was just shit from the ground up? You have to restart. It's like would you want your friend to say, "Hey, yes. DaddyIssuez, this is not it."
I would want honesty. Like, I feel like if they're your friend, they wouldn't lie to you. If they're lying to you, then they're not really your friend, to be honest.
Well, I think honestly, like this model that you're like wearing right now, it's amazing. Like, I actually really like it. There are a lot of model assets out there that like I don't like. Like a lot of face bases, I just think are so ugly. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
you know why? Because I think you like TDA. That's why, which is the face that your avatar has, which is more
I guess
like
so.
anime. It's like the Miku like aesthetic. TDA.
Maybe, but I just think that like maybe that's it. But I just think that a lot of like the guy, for example, like guy models, I feel like I just hate a lot of their faces. That's why like a lot of people ask me like, are you ever gonna update your model? They don't really look realistic. They just look really like chiseled and like really like.
What I mean by realistic is like it's actually like a 3D nose. It's more chiseled. They got like the actual defined features. Because with anime characters, they don't really have like sharp chiseled jaws and like 3D noses and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't really like that, which is fair. I think it's mainly the dancing community that kind of likes the real aesthetic, or the IMVU Second Life people that play VR.
True. Yeah. I actually never. So I knew what IMVU was for a long time, but it wasn't until very recently where I saw it was one of my friends play it. I realized that the concept of like the meta of VR chat, right? Like what VR chat is not a new thing. It's been going on since like what? Like there was this one game, the first ever MMO. I forget what it was called. I think it was called. I forget what it's all. I can't remember now.
I know you did not just say MMO.
Not MMO, but like massive multiplayer online. Like I'm not talking about MMORPG. I'm just talking about MMO.
Game.
Like social games, right?
Oh my god!
No, it wasn't Habbo. This is so funny because if I can remember the name, right? I watched a documentary on this, right? But there's this game, okay, that exists and it still exists to this day. Okay.
I think I know the one you're talking about. Is it like the characters are like got like the big bobble head and they got
No. It's fuck. I can't remember what it's called, man. I'm so mad. But there's a story behind this game, right? I'm so upset that I can't remember the name of it, right? But it was the first ever social game, okay? The guy who made the concept of social games, okay? Yeah. He has the domain of his game that nobody ever goes. The servers are still running, but nobody's ever on. If you go on the game now, I watched the whole documentary on it. It was so funny. It's dead, but the servers still run. And the reason they still run is because this guy patented the right to social games like VR chat and like the idea, the concept, okay? And what he'll do, he makes his money by suing or charging games like VR chat, Destiny 2, all these games for the rights. For the rights to his concept, right? This is all real. If I remember the name of this game, you could search it up for yourself, right? It's fucking hilarious. But this guy, that's how he makes his money. He was the first one who made this concept of a social game or a massive multiplayer online game, right? And in his time, that game, like it was popular, like people used it. But as like time went on, the game didn't evolve as time evolved or technology evolved. But he still keeps the servers running just so he can own the rights because that patent, right? That patent goes, I think it expires in within 30 or 50 years. I can't remember. I think it's 30 years. Right? I think it was 30 years expires, and it's actually expiring really soon. So he won't be able to do that anymore. But this entire time, he's actually been suing companies like that. I know Destiny 2 was one of them. He sued Destiny 2 or Bungie for the concept of like an MMO.
He must be sub bored.
And he's been making, and because these companies are so much bigger than him, They just settle. So they just give him the money. They don't even care. There's like whatever, and they just settle with him. So that's how he makes his living. He just makes his living by owning the rights, saying, "I was the first one to ever come up with this MMO, and I'm gonna fucking like just like mellow in it."
I hope he's looking for a sugar baby. I'm signing up.
I was watching, I think it was Weeby actually, who was playing IMVU. I was just watching like what actually happens in that game. And they have like, sexy lobbies. I don't know if I can say that. They have like, sexy time lobbies. They have like everything VR has, but just in 2D, right? It's crazy. And
it's the 3D it's like...
And the model concepts are just like, see, IMVU came out before VR chat. But I think what happened was all the kids who grew up with IMVU or Second Life now are older. They have money to buy VR chat headsets or VR headsets. Now they're on VR chat, and they've taken the meta of IMVU and all these games and brought it straight into VR chat. And that's why VR chat is what it is today, which is I think is like fucking hilarious.
Absolutely, I love the IMVU aesthetic, except for when like the super exaggerated body shapes. But I love like the aesthetic of IMVU.
Well, I feel like 90% of the models in like on this game also have super exaggerated body shapes.
Yes, but not as bad as IMVU. I'm pretty sure if you looked at IMVU, you'd be shocked.
There's this like you know how like the VR chat aesthetic evolves over time. Like it used to be like TDA, right? Like anime bases or anime faces, but now it's like more realistic.
To be fair, I feel like if they could still get away with selling TDA, I think TDA would still be running. It's just because they weren't allowed to sell TDA anymore is why that's not a thing anymore.
I was looking through like. When I was watching like Weeby play IMVU, she had like a shit ton of models, right? And you can see like the progression of how like models like the what is it?
How she started to how she is now.
Yeah, like what's the word? Like fashion as like the fashion of like IMVU evolved, right?
Yes.
So like now the models everyone wears, they all have like super long legs, and like it's like really weird body proportions. Like it's really long legs and like a really small torso. Which I thought was like really funny because like as like time goes on, you can just see how people choose, or like collectively.
I've always been like that. I remember back when I first started, it was ridiculous. Like you thought like the hourglass was ridiculous for VR chat. No, it was like it would start off like this and then it would go like that, and then the leg would be the same chunk as the thing. It was stupid. Like it did not make sense. Like anatomy wise, if you looked at it, it didn't make sense. But people loved it. They ate it up.
The first ever social game I ever played was VR chat. This is the first time I ever played. So
I really never dabbled in like Habbo or anything.
No, I don't even know what Habbo Hotel is. I'm not gonna lie. I heard about it. I don't know what it is. Like you just make a hotel.
No. It's like you are all in the hotel, but you can get your own room, and you can decorate your own room and your own clothes and everything. It's kind of lit. It's kind of like VR chat, but like a super, super small scale, and you can't get in VR.
I think I've seen some YouTube videos on like just like the best and worst moments in MMO or like online history, and like there are a lot of like racist moments in Habbo Hotel, like just like groups.
Oh yeah,
the groups of people coming together, like just like doing the outrageous shit.
One of the pool areas got like shut down for good because of a whole racist moment.
Yeah. I do remember. I know what you're talking about. That was the clip I saw. Like
I was playing the game.
They did something with like.
It was crazy.
That's so funny. I think one of the funniest moments I've ever like seen, which is not actually funny. I don't want to get myself canceled. I think like in hindsight it is funny, but also it's really bad. Like it's really fucked up, right? But like it was when it was in World of Warcraft, and there was a clan, like one of the top clans. One of the founding members like passed away, and so they had a funeral for them in game, and so like there was the shrine for them. And everyone was like in a line. There was like, I want to say like over 100 people in a line. And they were all taking turns going up to the shrine and like paying their respects and leaving. This was like just to show respect to their founding member who passed away, right? A rival clan came and fucking murdered them all. Murdered them all on his... They knew what was happening. And they murdered all of them, and they recorded it. They were like laughing and shit, and then the entire clan got banned. Like what was the
so
fucking BattleNet or whatever? fucking just ban them all. I was like, yeah, that's fucked up. You can't do that shit, right? Which is it's really fucked up. It's really
They
fucked
probably
up.
would have got away with it if they didn't record it, but they recorded it and probably posted it somewhere.
They did. They recorded it and posted it. I saw the video. It was like they did like a montage, right? Where they had some spies. They had some spies in the line. They had some spies in the line where they were like recording how like nice the like the memorial is, and there's like really nice music, and then it's like, and then you hear like it cuts to another scene. It's like there's like a metal music playing, and the other clans like running in. They're running in, and then like they just like murder the whole line. They murder everyone, which is like honestly that's so fucked. That's really fucked up. But at the same time, I can't help but like find a little bit of humor in that. I don't know.
I find the humor, but it still looks super fucked up.
Someone just asked, is Daddy Issues trans? This is a really good way to segue into our next topic.
Okay. No, no, I am not. I am not trans. I am a man. I am a he, but I just do not care about pronouns. You can call me she, them, they, whatever you want.
Well,
But I'm
I don't
not
know.
trans.
I don't know if you want to go into this, but Daddy Issues.
You can if you want.
What I guess like which way do you swing? What are you like more attracted to? What sexuality
I
are
am
you more
gay.
attracted to?
I am
All right.
gay as hell.
Well, there you go. There you have it. Daddy Issues is a man who's gay. And if you have a problem with that,
Hit me
buy
up
his
in the
models
DM.
anyways. Buy his models anyways. Hit him. Have a conversation with him. You'll probably have a good conversation. Not gonna lie, because Daddy Issues is the type of gay where they don't get butthurt over a lot of things, right?
No.
There's something you always tell me is that you embrace jokes as long as they're not malicious.
Yes.
Correct.
You
That's
can
something that
call
I do
me-
too.
I'm not gonna say the slur, but you can call me the S slur. I will not care so long as it's not malicious. As soon as it gets malicious, I'll just block you. I genuinely don't care.
I think that's like
I could joke about anything, so long as it's not malicious.
that's my like I guess take on life as well. Is like
Yes.
you can. I'm all right with joking about or saying literally anything as long as it's not malicious, and as long as it's not in bad taste. So like for
Yeah, it's not
example,
bad
like
taste, or like you can't be super racist. Like, okay, everyone's had a racist joke, not me, but everyone's had a racist joke. I feel like when you keep repeating them over and over again, that's like the funny's not funny no more.
I agree with what you're saying, but I also mean like jokes. Like okay, for example, like there are like people out there who find there's different levels of humor. I want to say right.
Yes.
Like there's like really clean humor, and then there's like really dark humor, like really dark humor. Right?
I'm down here. I'm in the dark, deep depths.
See, I feel like there's another level below dark humor because I would say I'm in the dark, deep depths humor, right?
Yes.
But I want to say there's another level under that, which is like dark, but also in bad faith or bad taste, right? And by that, let me give you an example, right? Back when like the whole George Floyd thing was like a huge mess, there were people making fun of like his situation and him as a person. And there are people also like doing the whole making like there was like these college kids who like took a picture of like them on the neck of someone else, like kneeling on someone's neck, and they got like expelled, right? I think jokes like that, those are not okay jokes. Like they're not only are they dark, but they're also just in very very bad taste, right?
Yes.
So those type of jokes where like there's a line, right? There's a line where
there's a real fine line. Well,
people
actually,
always say.
Thick. The line is thick.
The line is thick. People always say like, "Oh, comedy is comedy." Like, there's lots of comedians out there getting canceled and shit, right? For shit they've said in the past, right? And comedians always say, "Well, where's the line? Like, when can you like make jokes and when can you not make jokes?" And I feel like that is a touchy topic. It's a very hard place to draw that line. But there is a certain level where you just don't go there. So the line is it's different for everyone, right? But then I feel like there's just a universal line where you should just never cross for everyone, right? And that's like the really deep, like heavy, like shit,
I feel
right?
like it's the topics that if someone genuinely gets offended and it's like a hurtful thing, I feel like that's when it's not a joke. Like if the other person can't laugh about it, then it's not a joke to me.
I also feel like I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like there's also a time aspect to it. Like for example, if this was like the 1960s. Joking about, Jews and Nazis and all that shit probably would not be okay. But now it's a common thing because it's history now, you know what I mean? So I feel like there are certain things that happened historically that were definitely not okay to joke about for its time.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
No.
And like there are things that happen in this day and age with the BLM movement, all that stuff, right? I stand black people. Don't cancel me. I stand black people. But like as time goes on.
Not that I stand black people, bitch.
I stand black people.
I think you worded that wrong. You love black people.
We love them. We love them. I stand black people. Right? But I feel like as time goes on, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, that whole movement, which is a very touchy topic, right, and a very serious one at that. I'm not trying to take away from that. Yeah. It's probably something that you could probably joke about, down the line. I mean, people joke about it now. I wouldn't.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like, and I hope I can word this properly without we're
definitely into some dangerous topics right now. Yeah.
Yes, well, I'm just gonna go for it. I don't care. Anyone can view me how they want to view me. But I feel like TikTok has made people really sensitive in the sense of someone will do a slight thing and they'll cancel them straight away. And then when more information comes out of it, then they'll backtrack. I feel like TikTok has just made sensitivity of jokes up here. I feel like some people can't even make jokes that they used to make. You watch some of the old TVs, they'll go on TikTok and people be like, look how racist it is. But it's you don't really realize that people didn't see it as a bad thing back then. It was pure comedy, and it's still, some of the stuff is still funny. I'm not even gonna lie. Very much time and place.
Yeah, no, definitely time and place. Definitely, there are topics to I feel like even you know who Greta Thunberg, that's her name, right? You know who that is?
Yes, yeah. The one that
a lot of people make fun of they clown the shit out of her, right? But I think number one, I think what she's doing is good. I think that all the people that clown on her are people that are butthurt about a lot of the things that she's trying to change, right? So they try to take away from her value or the value of her messages by just clowning on her.
No offense. I also think it is because she is a girl as well. Yeah. I think a lot of she's a young girl. She's very smart.
Look at me. Oh, there you go. My tracking is just fucking going bonkers. Continue.
I think it is because she is a girl, point blank and simple, and she's very intellectual. So I think that's a lot to do with it as well.
There are jokes out there that people make about her being a whore and sexually assaulting her, and I feel like that's also one of those things where it's you don't cross that line. That's not funny. Right?
I don't think I don't want to say the R word. I don't think the R word is a joke anyone should make when it comes to assault. The assault R word.
I agree.
That should never be a joke. In my opinion, that should never be a joke. That's something I actually I have a huge fear of. So
I think what was I gonna say? Dude, I literally just lost. Oh yeah, no, now I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, I think that there are different levels for everyone, right? There might be people out there who think that those jokes are fucking hilarious, right? So I'm speaking on my opinion, and I feel like you share a lot of what I'm saying, right? Yes. I feel like a lot of the people out there share what we're saying, right? But again, this is such a touchy topic because it's different for everyone, and people can still say, even this line that we're talking about that you don't cross, people can still say, well, why is there even a line? You know what I mean? There shouldn't even be a line when it comes to comedy. But I just think that you need to keep up with the times and the society. If the majority of the society doesn't think that would be okay, then I think, you're going to have to, at the same time, go with, I don't want to say conform to the norms of society, because you should never, feel pressure to conform to the norms. But, at the same time, if you're doing comedy to make people laugh. And if you're making more people upset than happy, then I think you're doing comedy wrong at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely correct.
So, that being said, you just said how... I don't know if I should see. Okay, there are times when I know I've crossed the line, right? I think I'm very much someone who pushes the edge.
You push.
Right?
You push.
I push, and then if I cross.
Sorry for talking to me. I think you have to really it depends on the person you're joking with. To be honest, I feel like that's also a key factor. If you have really good chemistry, me and Senpai can make all sorts of jokes with each other. So I feel like you definitely have to be either close, aware, I don't know what else. You just kind of gotta right time and place. I feel like that's the best way to just put it. Time and place.
There have definitely been times where I've crossed that line, but that line is also different for every person. It's there are jokes I feel like I can make with you comfortably, just completely knowing that even if this would cross the line with a lot of people, it wouldn't cross the line with you, right?
Yes,
so it's different for every person.
Yeah,
which is why it's difficult.
Keep their line some people have their line out here, So you can keep going and going, like fishing it out, fishing it out, fishing it out. But some people keep their line like so close, like right here, that don't even touch the line. Don't even bother.
But there are also some situations where the person in general could have their line way out here, but then there'll be that one topic that you don't really know that like they have their line and we're up here with it, right? So it's difficult. It's difficult.
There.
Yeah,
it's not even near them. It's
and I've definitely had those awkward moments with friends where I've like crossed that line. There was the most recent one. I don't even know if I should tell this, but I'll tell it anyways because like this is an example. Dude, I'm fucking going crazy. Like my whole like.
If you feel like you shouldn't say that, you probably shouldn't say it.
I don't know if I should say it.
You probably shouldn't say that.
I think it's a funny situation. Not a funny topic, but a funny situation, right? Yeah. But I don't know.
I think you should probably keep that one off.
I'll keep it under wraps.
Off the stream anyway. Off the stream.
I'll keep it under wraps off stream. All right. Well, see that. So I want to segue to another topic, right? Someone asked if you were trans, right? And I feel like this is a topic that like I've always wanted to talk about because I actually know nothing about. We've been saving this topic for this podcast, but I've always wanted to ask you, right?
I think I know what you're about to ask
me. It's what is the term? Because I was trying to explain this to Pop before, right? Like one of the topics I want to talk about. What is the term when people pretend? Or not pretend, but
VR chat gay. Zoom in.
Okay, just right VR chat gay. Okay, sorry, hold on. I gotta get the fucking pins out. There we go. Let's go. Take the floor, Daddy Issues. VR chat gay. What is VR chat gay?
Okay, I've dealt with it many times. VR chat gay is with someone is gay on VR chat, but they're not IRL. Like they're completely straight IRL, but they're gay in VR chat.
So
I hate that.
So your take is VR chat gay is not okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Put that on a shirt and sell it.
Okay. Now let me play the devil's advocate because I know nothing about this, but let me just you know. Okay, so VR chat gay is not okay. Why are you allowed to judge when what my sexuality is on game versus in real life?
I feel like if you're strong about, I believe there's people out there that are still discovering. If you're still discovering, that's fine. I feel like people use VR chat as their second life, like for lack of better words. Like it's like the Hannah Montana moment. Like they come online and they're like, I'm this person, but IRL I'm this person. But for you, that may be the case, but for other people, it's not. Okay, so as someone that grew up gay, I've been like spat at, kicked, pushed, like threatened with death, you know, so that lifestyle isn't something I can like, you know, turn off. I can't just like, okay, well, I turn it off my computer, I'm straight again. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's very bad taste.
That's very well put. I was like, that was like what I was trying to like, you know, that was the answer I was looking for. Like, yeah, people might say, oh, why can you say I'm, you know, who I can be sexual with online versus in real life? But like, it's a struggle. It is being gay.
I want to clarify. I am from a different, I don't want to say generation, but like I am from I'm 26. So when I was growing up in school, like being gay wasn't openly accepted as is like now. Like you can scroll on TikTok, people are like, woohoo, gay. But like back then, like there was a guy in my hometown, he wasn't even gay. He was wearing the Borat mankini for a Halloween costume, and he got beaten to death because they thought he was gay. So yeah, it was very scary in my hometown. A lot of rural country towns are like that, from what I've been told from other people that have lived in them. So I don't know. I just feel like it's not something to pretend to be. That'd be like me, like saying like wanting to pretend. What's like a comparison that's not crazy?
Just any type of race.
Yeah, like that'd be like me saying, "Well, I'm black now. I'm black on VR chat, but I'm white IRL." Like it's so like it's kind of disrespectful in my eyes.
All this being said, you're not talking about people who are like genuinely gay, but they're just kind of scared to come out IRL. Right? Yeah.
Yes. No. I'm not talking about people that are, for at least better words, like closeted. Like there's a time and place to when to come out. I came out when I was 18, so I stayed in the closet all of high school. And depending on people's situation, like living situations and everything, some people can't. They know they'll probably get kicked out. They won't have a like place to go. And that, if you don't want to come out yet, it's fine. No one's forcing you. But if I'm pretty sure if you explain that to a gay person, they understand. Some people don't. Some people are like, well, you can't be with me if you're not out. I don't believe in that. I feel like if you're still like, I don't know how to explain it. Kind of like, I don't know. Help me, Tate. I'm struggling.
Well, I wanted to ask, like, why do you think that, like, because this is a new concept to me. Like, I haven't even heard about this shit until you told me about it, right? Why do you think
Yes.
people like are VR chat gay as opposed to like for me, I would think that if someone's VR chat gay, they're definitely gay or bisexual in real life. They just
Yes.
haven't explored that in real life yet, right? But like from what you're explaining is that there are people out there who are not, they're 100% straight, but they just think like it's okay to be gay on VR chat. Like, why not? You know what I mean?
Well, I've experienced it firsthand. So, I at least like a real bit of polling, especially when they lead you on, because no one wants to be led on. So I've been led on, and then the person's like, "Oh, I'll never be like gay IRL. It's only online." I'm like, okay, well, I'll just kill myself. It's fine. Like, well, fuck me, right? I just. I just think it's a very huge like toying thing. It's like toying with someone's feelings and stuff like that, which is not okay. Especially with something like that because you're giving them a false hope of a reality that won't become a reality.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I struggle to figure out why is it a thing for the people
I
who
don't know. I feel like they get on. I feel like because it's like you put the headset on, you're in a new quote unquote world or whatever, and I feel like people are like experimenting, but I think what they don't realize is it's not real, so it's not the like a real thing. Like ERP is not real, like you're not actually doing anything with anyone. So I feel like they're like, oh, this is great because it's like, basically like, what's the word? I don't want to use the word. Can we say porn?
you just go for it.
Well,
You
I
cut out
already
when
said it. So,
you cut out when you said it, but like
oh, but you know what I mean, right? It's basically that. So I feel like that's all it is to them, and then they turn off their game and they're like, oh, well, I can live my normal life.
Do you think people do it just because they think it's fun? Like it's just like something to do, something different to do? Like why not?
Probably people are crazy on this game. Nothing surprises me no more.
Dude, I'm like lagging like to shit, dude. My whole fucking I think my wire is broken. That's why like I keep fucking breaking. How is your experience dating wise? Let's go into this. Dating wise, IRL versus VR chat, right? Let's start IRL. How is your experience dating IRL? Have you ever dated anyone IRL?
No, I haven't. I met one person and it was not it for me. I was like, I almost wanted to say I'm straight. You literally told me straight. The person was so awkward. Not awkward, it's like they were just awkward and then it was just a huge turn off. But it's one experience. Like I also have a very feminine look IRL. I don't know if I've ever shown you a picture of me.
You have.
I'm quite
I know what you
feminine.
look like.
So a lot of people fetishize like femboys more as like a cheap alternative to a girl, which is probably kind of disrespectful to women, to be honest. But they're like, oh, they kind of look like a woman, so they kind of like slide it under the bar and say, let's go with it. And I don't like that. That kind of makes me sick. So my dating IRL has been horrible, and same on VR chat. To be honest, I just have bad luck.
Well, when did you? Because you told me you live in like a very, very bad, or where you lived is a very bad,
Yes.
non-accepting part of town. So like, when did you come out? I guess.
I came out when I was 18. So after I finished school, I came out. That was terrifying as hell because some families will say like my family's totally open for anything, but sometimes like I used to watch a lot of videos of like people coming out and their families like something in there like just switches and then they become totally aggressive and like they kick them out, they make them homeless and stuff like that. I was super scared of that because my mom was all like, if you're gay, it's okay, and I was like, period. And then when I was 18, I was like in the car and I was like driving, I'm like full shaking like this. I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something. And she was all like,
you told her while you were driving?
Yes.
You could have picked a better time.
I'm starting to sweat thinking about it because the feeling in my stomach like dropped. When I said dropped, it dropped because like as soon as I said it, I was like, it was a huge sign of relief because obviously a lot of people already kind of knew, by like looking at me, but and like my mannerisms and stuff like that. But it was like the first time me actually openly admitting it. I knew when I was like 12, when you're like grade 7, everyone was starting to date everyone, and I was like. I remember one girl said she had a crush on me and I freaked out. I was like, this is not it. I was like, I'm definitely gay. I'm definitely gay.
Have you tried dating, girls?
A girl, I dated one girl, she was my beard. I don't know if anyone knows that terminology, but
What's a beard?
So a beard is basically a beard is basically like when a gay man dates a woman to convince people they're straight. I remember she caught the bus on the way to this train station I used to go to. So I would walk with her. I think I held her hand. That was it. I remember she leaned in to give me like a kiss on the lip, and I like swerved her, and I was like, "I'll see you later."
So she didn't know. She didn't know you were gay.
Yeah, shout out to Rose, girl. I don't know how you dealt with me, bitch.
How did she? Did she ever find out, or like did you come out?
She found out on Facebook because obviously back then Facebook was a huge thing for me. I know I'm old.
How did she react? Do you know?
She messaged me and she was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you held that secret in for so long." I was like, on the low, I was like, "How did no one know?" You know, like I felt like it was so obvious. But obviously she didn't know. But
how did you guys start dating? Like who asked who?
I felt like it was such a high school thing. Like I think I sent her a text message like, "Be my girlfriend," and it started from there. It was like year 9, grade 9, whatever you want.
Damn. Yeah, same here. I think Australia school and Canada school are the same. You grade 9 to 12, right? So you have like middle school is like 7 or 6 to 8, and then high school is like 9 to 12. Yeah, okay.
No. Australian is kindergarten or prep, whatever you call it. It's like kindergarten to year 6, and then year 7 to year 12. We only have 2 schools. We don't have like a middle school.
Oh, okay. You know, for Canada, it's like preschool till like, so there are just preschools where it's like preschool, JK, junior kindergarten, and senior kindergarten. That's like just the whole school, and then there's grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and sometimes 6. But if 6 is on, and it's different because like 6 is like it can either be in like, you know, junior school or middle school, right? So it's like 1 to 6, and then 6 to 8, 7 or 6 to 8 is middle school, and then 9, 10, 11, 12 is high school. That's like how it is in Canada, right? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so how's your VR chat dating life? I feel like this is where a lot of like, you know, your kind thrives. I don't know. Was that fucked up that I just said you're kind? I don't know. They're human too. I don't mean that in like a bad way.
I remember what was it? It was my first relationship. I don't know if you would call that. It lasted 5 weeks. The first 2 weeks were amazing. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm in love. This is the one. And then as soon as they hit the 3rd week, they full ghosted me. So the last 3 weeks of it was me, myself, and I.
Were they VR chat gay too?
I actually don't know, to be honest. I think they were just bisexual in general. But I feel like they were VR chat gay and they just didn't want to say it. But
well, okay, let me ask you this. We're not going to name drop, okay? We're not going to name drop.
Okay.
But I feel like we have a lot of mutual friends, okay?
We do have a lot of
mutual friends. And a lot of those mutual friends are also gay. So why have you stayed single this entire time? Why have you not tried things with someone? Maybe you have. I don't know. Maybe I don't know this.
Right? I already know who you're saying. I already know who you're saying.
Yeah. Well, you know, you don't know. You don't know.
I do know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about.
I could be talking about anyone, bro. I don't know. It could be, dude.
I know exactly who
answer the fucking question.
And they have the same view as me. We're just not each other's type. That'd be like me going up to you and be like, "Oh, why don't you date Weeby?" There we go.
Oh, I guess you know you're right. You're right. That's a good way. Thank you for opening my eyes, DaddyIssuez.
I don't know why.
I mean, okay, you know what? Let me reopen this whole fucking topic of session. I mean, okay, if you had said, "Oh, why don't you date Weeby?" First of all, Weeby's in a relationship, you know, and they're in a beautiful relationship. Well, okay. But let's say me and Weeby were the last 2 people on Earth. I feel like that analogy, right, is very similar to what you're going through because there's not a lot of you, I would say.
No, you're saying there's not a lot of us.
Okay, no, there is a lot. No, sorry, let me stress it. There is a lot of you. There is, right? But I would say that it's harder to find someone who is, you know, swings the same way as yours, same sexuality, right? Am I using this terminology right? Yeah, I don't want to sound disrespectful because I actually genuinely respect.
No, it's okay. I don't care. I care, but I don't care. And you're talking to me. But
right like the analogy I use of like me and Weeby, the last 2 people on Earth. I'm talking about like. It's harder to find, you know, gay people than it is to find straight people, right? So if it were me, I would be looking at every, potential candidate very like adamantly. You know what I mean? That's just me though. I don't know.
I feel like because I know what you're saying. Oh my god, the amount of people that try to pair us together is so annoying. Like, I actually want to start blocking people over it because it's so crazy. They actually have a boyfriend now, so they can't say that no more. But I feel like I have a type, they have a type, and we're just not each other's type. That's
no, that's that's completely fine. Like, I get it. Everyone has a type. You know what I mean?
Yes, I feel like when people do that, don't do it to your gay friends. Do not find another gay person and be like, why don't you date that person?
Just because they're gay. No, I get it. I understand. It would be annoying for me. You know what I mean? If like I was like the only man.
I literally want to become homophobic and say I'm straight.
No, I completely get it. I'm just fucking busting your balls.
Like, it's the one thing they always do. They always say, they're like, why don't you date this person? I almost name drop them then out of habit. I'm like, please stop saying it. Because we're both gay. And we actually, like, I wouldn't say we have a lot in common, to be honest. So I'd want to date someone to have something with.
True. You guys are also like good friends, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to think so.
But are you even on the look right now? Like, are you on the hunt, or are you just like chilling?
I'd say I'm lonely. Any takers? I'm kidding. I mean, if it comes naturally, yeah. The realistic goal is I don't want to date online to keep it online, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like it's a great way to segue into another topic. The end goal is to be together IRL, you know, and if someone's not committed enough to stay in the relationship, I feel like it's not worth staying in it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I feel like the relationship you're in should be, quote unquote, the last relationship. Like, that should be the goal.
This is like
feelings like fallout and stuff. But
this is like an ongoing topic of discussion in this podcast. It's just relationships in general, VR, IRL, right? But like, yes, I feel like it's a lot exponentially more difficult for you, because not only is it hard to find someone in this game who lives close, or find someone in this game in general and then end up building a strong enough connection with them where one of them moves towards moves closer to another, right? Not only is that an issue, but now you gotta find someone who is interested in the same sex as you. You know what I mean? Or gender. Or I don't know, I'm using these terminologies so fucked up because I don't know. What's the difference? What is it? I should know the difference, but I don't know the difference. The difference between sex and gender. Sexuality and
gender is what gender you are, like boy and girl.
Okay, yes. And then sex is what you identify as.
Yes.
And then sexuality is what you're interested in.
Yes.
So I should use sexuality as the term. Okay. It's hard for you to find someone with the same sexuality as you, or compatible sexuality.
Yeah, right? Compatible is probably the better term.
Yeah,
there's people that are pan, that they don't really they're not attracted to a gender per se, but more so the personality. But we'll keep all those different sexualities for another.
So we'll just from this point on, we'll just say compatible sexuality. I'm sorry, I'm like butchering this entire conversation because I like know almost nothing about all this, right?
It's okay. You're getting educated.
I am getting educated. I'm being educated along with a lot of our viewers, probably. And I'm glad to see that none of our viewers are being toxic right now. They're all just like saying my name, they're just saying hi. Anybody have any questions for Daddy Issues? This is a perfect time. I feel like a lot of people.
Any questions?
I feel like a lot of people don't get to speak to you like this. I mean, I know I didn't when I first heard about you, right? I thought you were like almost an untouchable in this game. I don't know. That's just how I viewed it.
Okay, can I say something? People that make content on Instagram, TikTok, make avatars, we are not celebrities. I'm putting this down. We're not celebrities. We're no better than you. We're no better than anyone. We're just people that make content. So you can talk to us. Don't feel like that you're less than us. Because you're not. You're on the same level as us. And I feel like a lot of people lose their ego in that. Like, no, it's true. I feel like I'm no better than any of you watching right now. Let's be real.
Well, we have two questions. The first question is, Daddy Issues, how does it feel to be such a badass?
Who likes that one?
Just goes from saying, I'm not better than you, to like, yeah, I know, I'm a badass.
No, there's confidence and then there's ego. I'm a little confident.
Okay, someone said, Daddy Issues, where do you get your inspiration for your avatars?
Okay, I'm so glad someone asked this because I was dying to answer this question. My inspo is so weird. I actually get inspo from music. Like I'll hear a song and then I'll be like, oh my god, I want to make something out of that. Like a key example is I was listening to oh my god, I'm forgetting what the song's called now. It's from Cinderella. A dream is what you a wish is what your heart makes.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You can't look at me for this.
She sings it, and I made my Glenda avatar from it. My princess like avatar from it. So definitely music. Music is a big one. I feel like Pinterest. I've recently been using Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok's really good. Like when I started off my zodiac star sign, like skin line, whatever you want to call it, I was getting my inspo from TikTok when people would be like, "This is what Scorpio would look like. This is what this would look like," and I was like, "Yoink! I'm gonna take that, bitch." Also Flickr. I love Flickr.
What the hell is Flickr?
It's like a kind of like Pinterest type thing.
A dream is a wish your heart makes.
Yes, shout out whoever.
Siren Star. When you're fast asleep, dude. Now people are recognizing what you're talking about. I have no idea what the fuck you were talking about. People in the chat are recognizing what you're talking about.
You're a real champion because I was fighting for my life. I couldn't remember what it was.
Someone asked, what are Tay and Issues types? Well, I'll let you go after me. Like I'll just say mine quickly.
Like wait, who asked that? Like as people like dating?
I'm pretty sure dating wise. But I was gonna say my type is like extremely extra. I realized this over my experience. I really like extroverted people. I'm very extroverted.
Extrovert. Yeah,
I'm super extroverted, and I just realized that like extroverted people to me are very, very, very attractive. Like I don't know. Okay, well yeah, that's like my type. That's like the best way to describe my type. Just extroverted.
You don't have any features like blonde hair, blue eyes.
I don't really have any preferences of features like blonde versus brunette, blue eyes versus brown eyes. I just I like cute extroverted people, but not to the point where like they're like too crazy. Like people say, oh, I'm extroverted or I'm a crackhead. Like I don't want you to like be the type of person where it's like I have to almost like make sure you're not fucking like drinking or like doing some fucking crazy shit that I have to like make sure you're like safe for.
Enough where you could go out and do stuff with them.
Yes. But not like extroverted where it's like people think you're batshit insane. No, I don't like that. I'm just talking about like extroverted as in like
you don't want to be visiting the ER every other day.
Yeah. Well, okay. Like the reason why I'm saying this is because I have friends who are like extroverted, but they're also batshit crazy extroverted. Like they're like ADHD extroverted, like all over. I feel like I could be ADHD extroverted, but at the same time, like I'm talking about people who like I don't have to push or like kind of like hold their hand every step of the way of like in every social situation.
You don't want someone that's too introverted. You want someone that will do it without needing the push.
There's nothing wrong with introverts. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own type, right? I feel like, dude, I don't know where I'm going with this. Like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That's all that matters. I'm the only one responding.
Yeah, that's the only one. You're the only one who matters. Okay. What's your type, Daddy Issues?
Okay, so I'm quite petite IRL. I'd like to think I am on the smaller size body wise. So I want someone that's just bigger than me. Honestly. I love that.
You just want someone who's bigger than you.
Yeah. Like height, size.
What about personality wise? Let's say they were like your perfect, man looks wise, but like what about personality wise?
I don't want someone too needy, but I want someone that wants a little bit of attention that will ask for it. I don't want like clingy needy. That's kind of gross. But I do want. I don't know. I don't know what I want. I'm very introverted though, so like I don't want to be rock climbing or anything. So if you're that extroverted, then I will not do that.
Well, I would say that you are introverted until someone gets to know you.
Yes,
like you're very much one of those where it's like you're introverted until someone gets to know you. Then it's like a whole different side of like, fun daddy issues, right?
When to open.
But not only that, you're also someone who like you're not somebody who just stays quiet in a group discussion. Like you have like there have been situations where we've been in group discussions and you've been around my friends who don't like know you or you don't know them, but you've still been able to contribute to the conversation and like still have fun. You know what I mean? So like
I don't know when to shut up.
Yeah. So like I don't think you're introverted as like shy. Like you are shy, but you're not shy.
I'm not shy. Okay, I'm shy if I'm by myself. Like I'm super shy if I'm by myself. Like you would never catch me dead doing anything because I'm by myself. But if I have someone like little moment.
Perfect example is like when we were pretending to share trackers. You know what I mean? Like you were being fucking wild all over that lobby, but like that's just because you're bouncing off each other.
I want to preference. I'm nothing like this IRL. My online personality is completely different to my offline personality.
I feel like that makes sense though, because I feel like you've spent a lot of your life being like afraid, I guess. Is it the best way to
Yes.
IRL?
Basically afraid.
So like it's like you kind of always in that fight or flight mode. And I feel like it won't always be like that. You might just have to find the right people and then they'll break you out of that fight or flight mode the same way you're like, I feel like this personality that I'm seeing right now is like the real dad issues, and then the dad issues that's is IRL is kind of just like hidden because of fear.
Yes, and anxiety and depression. Because of all the bullying from school now, it's really fucked me up mentally, to be honest. I feel like I just need that little, I don't know what to say, like
those couple of IRL friends, and you'll definitely get there. I mean, do you anticipate finding a relationship anytime soon, or like just not even a relationship, but just like someone to vibe with IRL?
Oh, always IRL. I have one friend, but we don't really match compatibly. Friend wise. You could tell who you can match with friends, like by talking to someone. If someone annoys you, they're definitely not someone you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Blank.
No, I get what you're saying. I think it's very difficult for you because of where you live, even like just like fucking Australia. Who fucking lives in Australia? I don't know. Fucking spiders.
It's hard out here, bitch. I want to move so badly. It's just so exciting.
If you could move anywhere, where would you move?
Probably America. All my friends are in America.
My mind's on blank right now. We had so many talks to discussion. Cancel culture. We didn't really talk about cancel. We just kind of like said the topic. We didn't talk about it. Yeah, we just like fucking because we went from cancel culture to avatar creation right away.
Yes.
Because I asked you if you've been canceled before, right?
Yeah. Well, and then I described avatar stuff and I went into avatar stuff. So let's go back to cancel culture.
Cancel culture. What is your opinion on cancel culture? You said you've been canceled. We're not really canceled, but you've been
not really canceled. I low-key hate it. I think it's a childish thing. I think it's basically bullying, cancel culture. I feel like if you want to cancel someone, the best way is to block them or not pay attention to them anymore. In my opinion, I feel like if you don't want to give someone, let's say a celebrity, let's say Doja Cat, if this is like the best way to do it. If someone's going to cancel Doja Cat, I feel like commenting on all her stuff, resharing, and then saying something mean about her, it's so pointless. Like, I feel like just say what you got to say, swift block, delete.
Do you think there are situations where people deserve to be canceled though? Like mass socially canceled?
Or rejected? If it's done tastefully. I don't feel like anyone should be told to kill themselves and stuff like that. I think that's very distasteful. Or to the point where you harass someone to the point where they even consider that as an option of doing that. I just feel like, I don't know. It's just such a toxic thing in my eyes. Well, the old cancel culture is like, you just unfollow them and that was it. No one would pay attention to them anymore. You ignore them.
Yeah.
I miss that cancel culture because I feel like that is the best kind of cancel culture.
I think there are situations, especially in this game, there are some real monsters on this game, right?
Oh yeah, there is monsters.
Some real shitty people that you look at and you're like, damn, I can't believe this person actually exists. Where they do some really fucked up shit to a lot of people, right? Like, manipulating them for, sexual advantages, right? Manipulating multiple people for, profit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some really crazy horror stories on this game, right?
There is.
And there are YouTubers. I'll just say his name because like he's public. Viram, who does like God's work in canceling, or trying to get the truth out of some of these people, right?
Yeah.
But I also feel like there's a little bit. See, I don't know Viram personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think from what he does, he does a good thing, right?
Yeah, I met him personally. Well, not personally. I've met him.
I've been in the same lobby as him multiple times. I had some conversations with him as well.
I think.
and I don't have anything against them at all. You know what I mean? I just don't know necessarily if a career in canceling people is the best career. And what I mean by that is like he has done a good job in bringing awareness to people who deserve to be called out and stopped, right? But I don't know if I'm confident in saying that like everyone he's called out or tried to put a stop to deserved it, right? Because at the end of the day, huh?
I didn't watch any of his other stuff. I only know like the main one that kind of blew up.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. The guy who like,
the guy that's disgusting.
Yeah,
but I feel like having a career built off that,
it's never a good thing.
No, you'll lose trust with people. Like people won't trust you because they'll be like, well, I don't know, like I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like he's kind of like paparazzi in a sense, but like easier way to say it. Like he's like paparazzi that always wants to find the truth or get bring out. You
know? So and that's the best.
Like paparazzi. They're like, you're just nothing but annoying. But I'm not saying he's annoying.
No. I like your analogy of paparazzi, and this is where I'm going with this. Yes, I think that he has done a good thing, throughout his career. I don't know how new or old he is. Maybe this is maybe he's up and coming. I don't necessarily know if this is he's new or if he's been doing this for a while and then he just kind of
I don't follow him like that. So
but yes, he's done a good job, right? But I think just building a career off of canceling people, at some point I would feel like that if you're doing that, you're always looking for a new story, right?
Yeah.
If you're always looking for a new story, then that means that wouldn't that mean that you're risking a situation where you are looking for trouble? Like you're looking okay, if your whole job is finding trouble, now you gotta look for it, right? If you're looking for trouble, maybe you gotta make connections that the connections don't need to be made. Like let me give you an example, right? I know Veerum's been keeping tabs on us, right? I'm not worried at all. Yeah, no, definitely. People have been telling me that he has been keeping tabs on us, right? Not only that, but he kind of admitted that he has when he asked me a question once. I was like he told me that I talked to someone questionable, and I didn't know that he knew that I even talked to this person. So I was like, dude, whoa, right? But anyways. I'm not worried because I would genuinely okay, if I was gonna get canceled, it would probably be because I said some racist or out of pocket shit. But at the end of the day, if I have said some racist or out of pocket shit, right? It is always in my opinion in good faith. It's just it's a joke. But if I've hurt someone, I will always apologize to them. If I've hurt someone with my jokes, I told you, I push the line, and if I cross that line, I regret crossing the line, and I do everything I can to make it okay again, right? I do make very edgy jokes with people I make very edgy jokes with people that I believe have that same humor, can take it, have that same humor level. And sometimes I'll make edgy jokes in public that maybe someone in the lobby didn't appreciate, and if I did say something and offended them, I would apologize 100%. I would
that's the same as me.
I would do the absolute most to try and make them make it right with them. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I never even knew them before. If I never met them before, if I offended you, I would do the absolute most to make it right with you, right? That being said, if I was to get canceled, it would probably be some shit like that, where I just said something in the public lobby once, made a joke that is out of pocket, right? But I love everyone. I don't have beef with nobody, not a single soul, right? And Pop is even more innocent. Sentry might get us canceled one day. I'm not gonna lie with the shit that he does. But who knows, right? This motherfucker stopped playing VR chat 2 months ago. So I don't know. We haven't seen him in a while. And visibly he just dances. That's all he does, right? So I'm not worried that we're gonna get canceled for anything, right? And if we do get canceled for something, I'm confident that if it's dumb, we can shut it down. And if it's not dumb, that we would make it right.
Before? You've shut down some dumb shit.
Well, we definitely have shut down some dumb shit, some real dumb shit, some shit that because cancel culture is a real thing, right? I actually I recently deleted I had a highlight reel of cancel culture of people trying to cancel us, but I deleted it because I felt like I didn't need to have it on my Instagram, but it was there for a while.
That's iconic. I didn't know you had that. I would have read it once a day to go to sleep.
People have canceled us for tried to cancel us for dumb shit that doesn't stick. Someone tried to.
Also with cancel culture, especially in VR chat, depending on what it is, I feel a lot of it is either jealousy, especially when it comes to people like you or a creator. Depending on the topic, depending on the topic. I think is jealousy. They'll see like, well, Tay has this huge. Well, it's not just you. It's Pop, Century, visibly has this, lack of a better word, empire, and then people just kind of either get bored or they're jealous of it and they just want to ruin the image. Like
Yeah.
you get some things that is completely fake, and they'll say like, what's like it's something that would never be true. Like Pop said the N-word. Someone will say like, oh, Pop said the N-word. Like we all know Pop would never say that. Why do you make that
Yeah, so that's exactly what you're saying right now is exactly what like happened to us. Someone tried to make the connection that Clip Kids supports pedophiles because we wouldn't remove someone from our server who was a quote unquote pedophile. But when we looked at like the evidence, it's like, I don't think they were a pedophile, they just made a stupid fucking mistake, right? So it's like, so we just decided, and because the issue was resolving itself already, like they were already apologizing on their own to everyone involved and publicly, like we're not fucking God. We're not the police. Like we're not gonna like judge situations, right? That's not our job. But we just own a community server, and because we didn't do anything about kicking them out of the community server, someone was like, "Oh, we're gonna cancel you. I'm gonna make sure everyone, all your fans know that you support pedophiles." It's like, bro, do it. Watch, dude, fucking do it and watch how we handle it. And we handle it with just fucking.
In the beginning as well, because I feel like there's a strong line of, I don't want to say in case your live gets like shut down, like the offender word here, and then someone that's just like a predator.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a huge difference.
There is a huge difference. They're both bad, but one is a lot worse than the other.
Yes, I feel like using the word loosely, I feel like predator is more what we see on VR chat in the every daily life of VR chat. But I think the other one, like the offender word, that is such a hard word. Like I remember, I don't know.
Especially like child offenders.
Yes.
People throw that word around so much, disgustingly. Yeah, disgustingly so much. Where like there are lots of situations where they were in an unlucky, predicament, but doesn't mean that they were a child offender, right?
Literally.
But people throw that shit around. People throw that shit around so much, and it's just like because they know that word has so much weight to it. And even if I were to just say right now, DaddyIssuez is a child offender, right? No shit, no proof or nothing. Just go into a public lobby, say that shit. The amount of people that would just take that for face value and not even look into it. Yes, especially in VR. I'm talking about in VR chat. It's just like I could destroy someone just by saying it with nothing, no weight behind it. And it's just like it's such a disgusting thing that happens in this game, right? But all this being said, we were talking about like building a career in cancel culture, right? There are YouTubers out there who do that, and they do a good job. They do. I'm not going to take that away from them. They do a good job. They have done good things in this community, right? But as someone who knows that there's tabs being kept on them, and there's tabs being kept on other people, and there's issues being looked for and searched for, like I just think now from sitting here like in the back, kind of like watching it happen or unfold, you know what I mean? Because I hear things. I'm in the community too. I hear things the same way that these YouTubers hear things. I hear things too, right? And I just think that like it's not necessarily a good thing to build a career on that. You know what I mean? Like
no, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like you're just looking for trouble. Don't get me wrong, he's a very informative guy on situations that are serious, but I think there is a limit.
Yes.
There is definitely a limit if you want your information to be taken serious every time. I feel like if you're pumping out videos like front and center, you're just like one of those T pages on TikTok, like, welcome back to T News. Like,
yeah.
It can get very like
I think there are situations where people should be shut down for what they do.
Yes.
And then there are situations where maybe people can get called out, but they don't need to be shut down to that extent where they're absolutely destroyed. And I think, not only are they absolutely destroyed, but they're forced to take down things that they worked hard for.
Yes, I think so say there's the accuser and there's I wouldn't say they're the victim, but the person getting blamed for that accusation, we're just going to call them the victim for lack of better words. Or the accused. There's the accuser and the accused.
Yeah.
I feel like if the accused person is trying to tell the story and they're lying a lot, you gotta go. If you can't tell your story without lying, then you're wrong. But I feel like if they tell their story and the story is consistent and they're told the story 800 times, I feel like, well, if they're consistent with their story, then they're telling the truth, especially on VO chat.
There are people talking in the chat about this right now. I'm just reading it. Sorry. So yes, I think there are also situations where let me bring up my take on a situation, okay? And this is just maybe I don't have all the facts. I completely admit that I don't have all the facts, right? But my understanding of a certain situation that's happened with this, I'm fucking
I think I know what you're about to say.
There's another podcast. There was another podcast before us. It was actually the inspiration.
Yes.
Oh, it was actually the inspiration of our podcast because we went on a podcast called The Instance, right?
Yeah.
And we did an episode, but the motherfucker never posted it, right?
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
So no one ever seen it, but there's like clips of it on TikTok. But anyways, the guy who runs it, Colors, right? I mean, for lack of better words, I think he's an alright guy, right? You know what I mean? Like nothing. Maybe I don't know. I would have nothing against him. I've never heard anything really bad about him. You know what I mean? It pissed me off he didn't post our podcast episode, right? But other than that, like he's an alright guy. I met him IRL too. He came to EDC. I met him IRL.
Oh.
He's a cool dude, right? He also has a crew, and I guess one of his crew members got in a very sticky situation, having to do with underage people, right? I don't know if they were like a bad person or maybe this got. I don't know. Huh?
What's it? I
don't know. I actually don't. I was always in the impression that it was like the guy. I thought it was one of like his crew, but I think someone told me he has like crew like female and males, right? So I don't actually know which one it was because someone told me it was the female, someone told me it was the male. I don't know. Anyways, one of his crew got in a really sticky situation with underage people. I don't know if they were genuinely like a child offender or if they just got themselves in a sticky situation. Anyways, it wasn't him, it was one of his crew members. Apparently, from what I understand, he was forced to close or shut down his podcast because of it.
What? No way. Are you serious?
That's what I was told. He was forced by the person who was doing the expose. But like, that's where things now becomes questionable. Because it's like, okay, so their crew member, right? That's like saying if like Pop was like a bad person, right? That fucking sucks. Pop's like one of like my closest friends, right? We do everything together in terms of like content creation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if he did something like fucked up, I would call him out for it, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to get canceled by proxy. You know what I mean? And not only do I have to get canceled by proxy, but like, why would I have to take down my TikTok now? Right?
Okay, so this is a very good point. I remember they weren't my good friends at the time. I knew them, they knew me. Well, like acquaintances of some sorts, just mutual on the gram, whatever. And they were getting cancelled for, I don't want to say because it will make it obvious who it is, the name game, but they were getting cancelled for something, and then everyone around them also getting like banned, removed from servers.
Colors is watching right now. He said, "Hey, don't lie, you love this." Sorry, I didn't even cut you off. Fuck you, Colors.
Hi, Colors. Wait, who was that again?
The guy who owns the podcast.
Oh, the podcast. Hi.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like making everyone guilty around them is a horrible thing. Like, a perfect example is in the Avatar community. If you're friends with a leaker, they're just going to assume you're a leaker because you're friends with them. Even though you could buy every single avatar or you could do everything by the books, they'll just say, "Oh, well, you're best friends with that person. You're gone too."
But does that mean that now people have to? There's like a whole movement against you, like, oh, because they're friends with the leaguer, and I assume they probably leak too, and now because I think they leak, you shouldn't buy their avatars, or you should just shut down your Gumroad because fuck you.
Yeah, they don't tell them to shut down the Gumroad, but a lot of people just say don't buy from them, don't support them, they're this, they're that. You should not judge. You should not be guilty by association. That should not be the thing. I'm running out of words to say.
No, you're good. You're good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do. I'm also reading this chat. They're all talking now. Like everyone's like talking about like.
What are they saying? Tell me. I can't see it.
They were like telling stories about like shit that happened to them, and then like they're talking about like the color situation. I think. And then Colors is saying, when do I get on the podcast? Colors, listen, bro. Listen, there's a lineup, okay? There's a lineup.
You know what? Colors, yours can be posted when you post Hayes.
Yeah. How about you post ours, then we'll get you on the fucking podcast. Also, maybe you'll make it for season 2. Who knows? Maybe maybe this will be the last episode and we'll never do another one. You know? No, I mean, colors, bro. I mean, it would be interesting to get Colors on the podcast and talk about his whole experience with this shit because, like, you know, I'm genuinely curious.
Absolutely.
But there is a lineup. We do have some guests lined up. I don't know if I should expose them now or just like keep it a surprise.
Keep it a surprise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So nice, seeing it come in like Instagram and everything. So keep it as.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, this podcast that we're doing right now, I'm not making any promises because this is completely up to Pop Shooter. But like, hopefully, this recording will come out by Friday, which is in 2 days. But if not, you know what I mean? No. That's literally 2 days away. I don't know. This guy's a fucking monster sometimes. Sometimes I edit like fucking 3-hour-long videos, or sometimes he'll just do nothing. I don't know. If he wanted to, he could. That's all I know. If he wanted to, he could, but I don't know if he necessarily wants to. Pop, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, I think he's muted.
I am.
Hi, Pop Shooter.
I was muted. Hello.
Pop Shooter, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it'll be out Friday.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Pinky
You don't
promise.
have to do it.
Pinky promise, it'll be out Friday.
You know what's really fucking cool? You know what's really
I'll
fucking
finish it
cool?
tonight, Tate from Canada.
Cool. Do you see how there's the atmosphere, the aura of this whole world is like aqua, right? And you can see kind of like the aqua patterns on Daddy Issues.
Well, I can't see it.
Well, I can. I can see like aqua patterns on you, right? It's because you look disgusting for you, but you look good for everyone else, right? Daddy Issues is fucked up right now. Everything is like out of balance for him. All his color schemes.
Like a real pale face and tan skin, and they're telling me
you look really good. I'm not gonna lie. You look great. Also, now the reason I brought this up is Pop Shooter, come here. Pop Shooter is an invisible avatar right now, but the fucking patterns are showing up on him.
Wait, you can see me?
You can see. Yeah. It's like an invisible aura. I can kind of see it.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of see it now too. That's crazy.
That's funny. Look at him. Look, he's moving around and shit.
Gone. I'm out of here.
Well, we've been at it for an hour and 35 minutes. We can keep going if you'd like to, but we usually ended it around this.
I like talking. So
you like talking? We can. I mean, what other topics do we have to talk about? I feel like also.
Well, let's keep going, and Pop could just chop in.
You are very much someone that I would like to get back on at some point.
Oh my God, period. Well, we can always save more for later. Does anyone else?
Yeah. Anybody have any questions in the chat? Why it stink? Someone ask why it stink.
Why it stink? I don't know what they mean. Like my ass? I'm so confused.
You don't wash your ass, Daddy Issues?
Why your ass stink?
I know. I wash my ass between the cheeks, probably unlike most of you.
So I said, what's your favorite color?
Pink.
I like blue. Why did someone named Taylor, if this is the right Taylor, say below deck? Did Blake
Yes.
send Taylor in here to say below deck?
Below deck has been our life.
Blake, we're in the middle of a fucking podcast, my guy, okay? You ever had any paranormal experiences?
What the heck?
Any paranormal experiences?
We were talking about this. We're talking about this.
Yeah, I love paranormal shit, dude. But even though it scares the shit out of me.
Talking about this. Okay, so I had this one experience, and I don't think it was just my body. I mean, he talked about it. He said this. It could be like my mind tricking me, but it was a demon touching me, bitch. So I was wanted to tell my mom something because she worked late, so she would come home late. But I was a child. I was like, bitch, I'm going to bed. I'm not staying up waiting for you. But wake me up when you get home. She wasn't home, and I felt like a full shake, when someone wakes you up and they're like, wake up. I felt that. I woke up and no one was there, and I was shitting bricks. I put the blankets over my head, and I was like, never again. And then my mom came home and did wake me up, so I had to experience it twice.
I think that you just had one of those moments where it's like your brain made your nerves, go because
I just feel like no one can replicate an actual wake up thing. My brain.
You know what I heard once that scared me? I heard this in middle school, but I always believed it. I still believe it. I don't know. If you're dreaming where you're falling, okay, and you hit the ground in real life, and you've hit the ground in real life, the same time you dream and you fall in your dream, you'll die from shock.
Yeah, I had that too. Like that falling, and then you wake up and you're like, "Whoa." Yeah, I hate that. That feeling is gross. It's a good topic. You ever have any recurring dreams, at any point in your life? Yes, I had this one dream. It was so fucked up. I actually don't think I've ever talked about this to anyone. like I think I told my mom, but it was like think of Planet of the Apes, like where all the apes come on the planet, but it was snakes, and they're all like hunting me down, but they were like not fast enough to like catch me, but like fast enough to like I couldn't sleep. You know what I mean? Like I got to keep like running and running and running. It would be like I remember I was like in a house and I was like, oh my God, I'm safe, and I heard a knocking on the door. Or why I'd open it in my dream, I don't know. And I opened it and it was like a snake waiting there, and it's like I had that dream millions of times. When I say millions of times, I can't tell you how many times I've had that dream. It's like actually ridiculous, and it's like it will like play off where it ended, kind of like a movie. Like you know when you pause your Netflix and you're like, I'll watch it later. It was kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
It was insane, and I had it. I still get it from time to time. I haven't had as much.
I've had 2 recurring dreams throughout my life, but both happened when I was really small. I remember them vividly, even though I was really small. Okay, so like I want to say like before I can talk about this dream. So like my parents, when I was younger, didn't sleep together, and the only reason why is because my mom snores, and my dad couldn't fucking handle it. Right? So like my dad had his own room, and my mom had her room. Right? Now they sleep together because we're all like all my siblings are grown up. Right? And so as we grew up, like we would take the extra room. So like there's like in the house I grew up in, there's only 3 bedrooms, right? And so like when I was younger, me and all my siblings slept in my mom's bed with her, right? When we were like really young, right? She has a fucking massive bed, like what's bigger than the king size bed? I don't know. It was massive, right? So like we'd all sleep in the same bed, right? And then my dad would sleep in his room, and then we'd have an office. But as we grew up, my dad's room was given to like me, and then the office was given to my brothers, and like we all just like swapped rooms around, right? So then my dad ended up sleeping in my mom's bed, right? Anyways, when I was younger, my dad slept in another room. I always slept in my mom's bed. I would get the same dream every night, and when I was younger, I didn't think anything of it because I was like it didn't mean anything to me, right? But when I think about it now, it scares the fuck out of me, right? It's such a creepy dream. But back then, it would happen every night. I just didn't care. I was like, well, just the same dream, right? And the dream was I would be hanging upside down in a dark hallway, right? And at the end of the hallway, I would see a shadow, like a shadowy figure walking back and forth at the end of the hallway. Yeah. And it looked like the silhouette reminded me of my dad, right? And he would walk back and forth. And I was hanging upside down and I couldn't get free. So I'd be calling for him, like, help, right? To get me down. And then walking back and forth, and then he would get closer and closer, right? Until he got close enough, and I could see it wasn't my dad. It was like a fucking demon, and it jumped at me, and like it would kill me. And then when it would jump at me, I would wake up, and every time I would wake up, I'd be on the opposite side of the bed. I would be not where I started, but where I like just the opposite side. So I'd be moving through my sleep, and it happened every night. And when it happened every night, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, it's just a dream. I'd wake up, opposite side of the bed. Oh, fuck, I was dreaming. Go back to my other side. Now when I think about it, that shit's fucking creepy. And I don't know what that meant. I don't know if it meant anything, but that's crazy, right? The second recurring dream I had was, this is not as creepy, but it was still like, I don't know why I would have it. I would be stuck in a bubble. You know, like Sandy Cheeks house? Oh, yes. It was like one of those. It was like one of those. But the outside was just infinite space. And I was stuck in this bubble, like kind of like Sandy Cheeks' like house with one alien, right? And the alien would tell me, you're never allowed to leave, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would realize I'll be sad because I'm like, dude, like I'm stuck here. Like, what happened to life? Like, am I just stuck here for the rest of eternity? And it was just an empty bubble, and I was just there with one alien, right? They would always tell me you can't leave. There's nothing you can do. And then I would realize I'm in a dream. I would realize it's a dream, but I wouldn't be able to get out of it. And so I would do everything I can to get out of it. And every time I would have this dream, I would do something different to get out of the dream. Like I would one time I just knew that I was it was in a dream. So like, this is my mind. And like, I started flying and I just like burst out of the bubble and then I woke up, right? Another time, like, I think I just cried myself out of it. Like I was just like in the corner crying, like I'm never going to escape this dream. I know it's a dream, but I don't know to get out. And then I just naturally woke up, right? Like I think every time I got out of the bubble was a different way. And every time I recognized it was a dream, but I just didn't know how to get out of it. Right?
I remember seeing something on TikTok. Obviously, you can't take TikTok for a fact. It's kind of like Google. Like you can't Google anything. I remember seeing one thing on TikTok where someone said like, if you realize that you're dreaming you're not meant to be asking the people in your dream, like whether it's an alien or anything, what the time is or what year it is. Because otherwise you'll get trapped in it. I saw someone's talking about on TikTok, and I was like, that is petrifying as fuck.
How does that work? How do you get trapped in it?
I don't know. I just saw it on TikTok. That's why I said don't take my
Dude, I'm
word
gonna do it next time.
So, yeah, ask him what the time is, what year it is.
Now when I have dreams, like the moment I recognize this dream, I just wake up. Like it just even if I don't want to wake up, I just end up waking up. Right? Well, there are times. Okay, so there are times. Oh, this is funny. So there are times when like I'll be in a dream and something really like embarrassing or really like just a situation where like I don't want to be here right now. Like get me out of this fucking situation. Like either I failed a test that like ended up failing a course and now I'm like in a lot of trouble. Like, you know, when I was younger in like high school or middle school, or maybe like I did something really embarrassing. Like I was like in the middle of school naked or something. Like just something where I was like, get me out of this fucking situation right now. I would be like, I would just know, I'm like, this is a dream. Like even though if I didn't know if it was a dream, I would just say this is a dream, and then I'd wake up because it ended up being a dream. Like I force myself out of it. Does it make sense? So like let's say I did something really embarrassing, and I'm like, fuck, this is a dream, and then like the moment I say that, I wake up. I'm like, okay, holy shit, God, thank God it was a dream. Like it wasn't just, you know what I mean?
Your reality.
So that being said, there have been times when I had this shit really embarrassing, where I'm like, this is a dream, and then I'm like, no, this is not a dream. This is real life.
I wish some things were a dream, honestly.
That's really funny. Well, do you remember your last dream? What was your last dream that you remember?
My last dream. I can't think of any. No.
You don't know?
As much as I used to. When I was a kid, I had a very strong like dreaming process. Like even to the point where I used to like sleepwalk. I used to sleepwalk a lot. My mom would like. I would go past my sister's room and I would like point like, so this is like the door and I'm like standing at the bottom because I was little. I'd point up to the top and I was like, they need beds, mom, they need beds. And my mom's like, bitch, who needs beds? And I was like, the people up there, they need beds. And mom was like, I'll get them beds. I was like, no, mom, the aliens need beds.
Bro, what the hell?
She was telling me about it and she's like trying to scoot because you're not meant to, apparently, I don't know if it's true, like if there's any scientific thing behind it, but apparently you're not meant to wake people up who are sleepwalking because they can have heart attacks. So my mom was like trying to just usher me like back to bed, you know, like she's like, yeah, I'll get them, like go back to bed. So you're meant to like kind of play along with them. From what I've been told, I don't know if it's true.
So you used to sleepwalk as a kid?
Yeah, a lot.
I never slept walk, but I know my mom told me one situation where like I was sleeping on the couch, and then she like woke me up to go to my room. But like I woke up, I stared at her, and I just like stared at her. Like I just didn't stop staring at her. And then she had to like pick me up and take me to my room, right? But I was like kind of like a demon child, just like looking at her, like. and like she told me the next morning, and I was like, bro, what? That never happened. So like I guess I was like,
so funny.
I was like in like, you know, I was still asleep in my brain, but I was like awake, standing and like, looking at her, right? It's like one of those moments where like, you know, in a demon movie where like the person gets out of bed and just starts like watching the person next to them sleep. It was kind of like one of those. I was like, whoa! But that's the only time it's ever happened, or to my knowledge. I don't sleepwalk. Dude, I'm fucking breaking so bad. Oh, someone said, who are your favorite creators when you making avatars? Like, who are your favorite avatar creators?
Who are my favorite? Well, I already said Food Baby. I buy Food Baby stuff like tomorrow. I don't know. I really like my own, like, not to shout out my own friends, but obviously Daddy Senpai, Yuki Okami, the lemon rolls, few of my friends, and Potato. But Potato needs to get back into it.
Yeah, where's Potato been? I haven't seen Potato
busy. Like IRL. She's very busy with work, so I miss her so much.
I miss hanging out with her on Fridays. She's really fun on Fridays.
She's crazy for someone that's in their 30s. She's crazy.
Not you throwing out her age just like that. Yeah, she's in her 30s, but you know she's wild.
Well, you don't meet 30-year-olds like that. I would never, like, if no one never told me her age, I would have known she was 30.
Yeah, I didn't even know she was 30. You just exposed her age to me.
Like 23, I'll be like, yeah, this girl's got a lot of kick in her set.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up here. Someone said something about deja vu. They said, you ever have a deja vu dream and then, like, you know, you wake up and it actually happens? I think deja vu only happens for me when, like, I don't dream about it, but, like, deja vu, the whole definition of deja vu is, like, when you, like, something happens.
Like I've done this before.
Yeah, something happens IRL, then you're like, oh, I felt like I've done this before. So I don't necessarily know if I'm like, I've had deja vu definitely, but I don't know if it's because I've had a dream about it or if like I just kind of just felt like I'd done this before.
I think that's more like a vision thing, isn't it? Not like having a vision if you're sleeping and then that happens.
Like that's so Raven. If you could gaze into the future, yeah.
Hey, you're so dumb.
Okay. I think it's time to wrap it up. Because there are like 8 kids in my chat now saying below deck. They're fucking sending all our friends. They're sending all our friends into my chat. Below deck time. All right. We'll wrap it up. DaddyIssuez. Anything you'd like to plug? Your friends. Just plug yourself. VRC. Fuck your friends. Say that again. I talked over you. Say it again. VRC. DaddyIssuez VRC on what? TikTok, Instagram?
I mean, you can follow me on TikTok. I don't post my shit's too scandalous.
Well, Pop will probably just put your name, your Instagram handle, like underneath you right now.
Yeah. So it's just here.
Daddy, yeah, it's right there. Right there. Do you see it? Right here.
Whoa.
Daisy, you can't see it right now, but you'll see it soon.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I definitely do want to get you back on here more times.
Absolutely. I had so much fun.
Yeah. We'll come up with some actual topics. Maybe we'll just get a whole segment going. Maybe we'll get a whole segment. Unhinged, yeah, we can say anything. We could like have like real deep talks. We have like the ultimate deep talks of like and like name drop everyone. We just name drop whoever the fuck we want to name drop. Yeah, it'll just be our personal drama that no one has any context of, but we'll talk it out in the open. Cue outro music. We don't have outro music. We should have outro music. All right, bye everyone.
I've been holding this piss for so long.